Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is April 25th, and this is your aftermarket update. All right, we had a really nice day in the day trading chat room. We had two trades where we were showing off our newest indicator into our arsenal. If you are on Scott's list, this is a tool that you're familiar with. The tool that you may not be familiar with is the decision points. And so before I go into today's trade of the day, I just want to tell you what a powerful combination this has proven to be. As we went through and as Scott and I began these discussions of looking at our collective tools and how these would fit together to provide services to his trading group, what we quickly realized is that we have a winning formula here. And so before I go through and show you just how cool it was today, if you haven't done so already, I would highly encourage you to come in and take a look around. Take a look around at how we use our tool, how we use these tools, how they work in concert with one another, and just what a really exciting opportunity this is for the traders that we've been dealing with. And so what I would like you to be able to do is come in, take a look around, and just watch and listen to what the traders are saying about this combination of tools. And here's why they get excited. Why they're getting excited. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you kind of the setup that we did today. Then I'm going to show you the trade of the day. We had a 17-point ES winner today. We had one lot with a 2-point stop and a 17-point target that we hit. That is an 8.5 to 1 risk-reward ratio. As we talked about in the room today, with an 8.5 to 1 risk-reward ratio, you can have a lot of losing trades and still be okay if you can figure out how to get that kind of trade accomplished like we did here today. And so our first trade today was a break-even trade on the CL. It was a good entry location in the market. It's crude oil inventory report Wednesday. We'll start there. But we had a really good entry location. And as that market began to move away from our entry, again, crude oil inventory report days are a little choppy, and it came back and took me out at break-even. So where we are going to pick up today on the video is you're going to hear me start to talk about this particular ES trade. And what I've done here is I've let this video run a little bit longer than maybe I normally would. Typically what I would do is I would show you where I get in. We would talk about the stops and the targets, and then I would kind of speed it up and let you play. But what I did today for you is I actually added about 30 seconds to the beginning of the video today, because what I wanted you to do is hear how it is that we are talking about why we were getting in right here. And so let me just let's see if we can just draw a little rectangle around this. It's this 3-bar pattern. Actually, I'm gonna sweep this around and show you here, but it's really this 3-bar pattern around. We'll make this transparent. Let's see here. Actually, we'll do it this way. Okay. So I just want to draw a box around. It's this 3-bar pattern, blue, yellow, red. That's the 3-bar pattern that we look for against one of our decision points. And so while we have had these decision points on our chart for years, the entry system to get into these trades has been refined. And again, as Scott and I have been talking over the course of the past weeks now, one of the things that we described and talked about was just how strong this entry pattern is against our levels. And today it proved to be the case. So what I'm going to let you do is listen to how we begin to talk about if this signal bar does this, then a certain thing, then we would be looking to get short underneath this decision point, which is our structure mid. And what we ended up doing is getting short at 26.2875. And so what you're going to see me do is talk about this particular entry. We had the bar rally up over the top, and then you get this signal bar that is a transition bar. These transition bars are typically 8 ticks wide. And so the entry is technically 1 tick below the signal bar. What we did here is we waited to go 1 tick below the actual support level. And once we did, the trade almost immediately began to move in our favor. What you're going to hear me do or talk about in the trade room is how we're going to target the next level underneath us at 26.2075. What I also said, though, is that if the market is breaking out and really beginning to become aggressive, then we were going to look for this deeper target all the way down at 26.1175. So 26.2875 to 26.1175 is 17 ES points on a single lot, and we had a 2-point stop that at the initial portion of this trade. So again, that's an 8.5 to 1 risk reward ratio. And so what I want you to focus in on is how we talk about getting into this position right here at this particular location. The other thing that I want you to know is that we sold 2 ticks off of the low today. How cool is that, right? Our levels and our entry system gave us the opportunity to be able to ride this to 2 ticks off the low. How many trade rooms actually can do that and then show it to you in its entirety? And we're doing that here today for you. We don't win every trade, but what our philosophy has always been here at the Oil Trading Group is that you are going to have losing trades, but when they are beginning to win and they are working in your favor, it's incumbent upon you to be able to maximize those trades. What we normally like to go is to do is 2.5 to 1 risk reward, or 3 to 1 risk reward. But when we feel really confident, like we did here in this particular trade today, that the market was going to sell off all the way down to here, then we rode it all the way down to there. And so the market gave you a bunch of different opportunities here. Each time you get one of these 3-bar patterns, blue, yellow, red, it's giving you an opportunity, particularly when they come in against these resistance areas, right? There was another opportunity here, 26.1875. You got a transition bar at 14.75. So that transition bar was down here at 14.5. And this entry would have been right here around 1875. So there's 4 points of movement. The point is that each one of these times you get one of these 3-bar patterns, you have a really excellent opportunity. I'm going to show you here on the CL today. I meant to show you this when we were talking about the CL earlier. But the daily structure target also provided you with the low of the day as well, down here at 67.11. And look what showed up down here, right? Right down here at the low of the day, you had that same 3-bar pattern after the inventory. Red, yellow, blue. And then the market rallies all the way from your entry here would have been 1 tick above, so that would have been 67.20. And if you carried it up to the structure signal up there, that's 67.93. That's 20 to 93 is 73 ES or CL ticks from structure target all the way up to the structure signal level. Of course, the market then gives you a little bit of a choppy pattern. You don't really get a 3-bar pattern here. You did get a nice 3-bar pattern confirmation here. Anyway, the point of this is that, again, just like the ES today, you had a really good, strong opportunity. And even though I did not trade that opportunity today, all I traded was the one ES trade because we had made our ticks and went on down the road. If you have the tools in front of you and the opportunities present themselves, you're more than welcome, obviously, it's your money, your account, to do with it as you see fit. And so, again, just because I stopped trading, right, doesn't mean that you necessarily had to, but the tool provided you with opportunities. What I'm showing you here today is how we got into a single opportunity in front of a live audience today. In fact, I think we were in front of the max today. We were in front of about 250 people in front of a live audience, and you're going to get to see that trade in its entirety. So here's what I've done. I've played the first 57 seconds. The video is only like 2.5 minutes long. The first 57 seconds is me talking about why I'm getting into the opportunity. Then I get into the opportunity. I speed that tape up, put a little music behind it. I put some graphics in there so you can kind of get a sense for what my thought process was as we were managing the trade. And then you'll get to see it go all the way down to the target today. So without further ado, here is that OTG trade of the day. All right, so here's what I'm interested in on the ES. So if we come back underneath this structure mid, 31 to 29 to 28.75 is where I'm going to look to get short on this ES. 28.75 is where I'm going to look to get short on the ES. And I am in at 28.75. The stop is 30.75. The target here is 20.75 is the target. 20.75 is the target. 20.75 is your target. For now. It could be deeper than that, actually. So let's go ahead and get to break even now on the ES. Break even on the ES. You could go as deep here if all heck starts breaking loose at 11.75.